Welcome to the Fab 4's Open Fender Installation Guide video series for the 2019 and 2020 Ram 25 and 3500. In this video, we will go through the process for installing the bass fenders onto the truck. The Open Fender System is for professional installation only. Careless installation and/or operation can result in serious injury, death, and/or equipment damage. All liability for installation and use rests with the user or consumer. Start by applying the provided rubber edge trim to the outer perimeter of the 4 fender bases. Do not stretch the trim during application or it will not stay in place. Start at one end of the fender base and use a razor blade to cut off the excess at the other end. Using 3 vice grip C-clamps, hold the provided driver's side front base up to the vehicle. Then align the front edge with the bottom of the OEM fender below the headlight. Be sure to align the 2 back-to-back bends below the farthest back hole with the profile on the door below the Ram logo. Using a 25/64 inch transfer punch and hammer, mark the 7 holes across the face of the driver's side fender base. Remove the fender base from the vehicle. Using a drill with a 3/8 inch bit, drill out the 7 previously marked locations. Using a deburring tool, clean any sharp edges off the previously drilled holes in the fender. Remove the painter's tape from the OEM fender. Now use the provided rust trap coating and apply a liberal amount of coating to each drilled hole. Next, use a 3/16 Allen wrench, 1/2 inch socket wrench, and 7 of the 5/16 stainless steel button head screws and washers to install the provided fender base to the OEM fender for the final time. The 2 center hole locations will thread into the previously installed intermediate bracket. The remaining 5 locations will get a stainless steel flat and lock washer with nut. Using a 1/2-inch socket wrench, tighten all the grade 8 hardware installed previously in the bass fender support bracket. Now connect the Fender bass support bracket to the lower rocker channel cover plate. You can now move on to installing the rear Fender bass. Use painter's tape to cover the bed side 10 inches around the wheel well. Using 3 vice grip C-clamps, mount the provided driver's rear bass fender to the driver's side of the bed. Using a 25/64" transfer punch and hammer, mark the 10 holes across the face of the bass fender. Remove the bass fender from the vehicle. Using a drill with a 3/8" bit, drill out the 10 previously marked holes. Next, use a deburring tool to clean out any sharp edges in the previously drilled holes. Apply the provided rust trap coating to each of the previously drilled holes in the bed side. Using 3 vice grip C-clamps, reinstall the bass fender onto the bed side, aligning the holes with the previously drilled holes. Install 10 of the provided 5/16 by 1.5" stainless steel button head screws, washers, and nuts through the previously drilled holes. Next, reinstall the OEM screw removed from the bed stiffener bar previously. Use this screw to connect the bed stiffener bar to the provided bass fender. Install one of the 5/16" by 1.5" stainless steel hex head cap screws, washers, and nut in the bottommost rear hole in the provided bass fender. This should line up with an existing hole in the OEM bed side. Next, install 3 of the provided 5/16 inch by 1 inch button head screws and washers in the remaining 3 holes with welded end nuts on the base fender. You are now done with installing the open fender bases and can move on to installing the inner fenders and fender flares.